Today's headlines. The Department of Transportation eyes the return of Sumitomo Corporation as the maintenance provider of the MRT-3. The House of Representatives commits to pass the Bangsamoro Basic Law by March 21. Filipino and U.S. troops complete the 12-day Salaknib joint military exercises. And over 200 teams gather in Baguio City for the 68th Phil-Am Golf Tournament. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Department of Transportation is set to sign an agreement with Sumitomo Corporation and its technical partner Mitsubishi Heavy Industries for the maintenance of the MRT Line 3. Sumitomo is the MRT-3's original maintenance provider. Here's our report.
The Department of Transportation is conducting high-level talks with the Japanese government for the return of Sumitomo Corporation and its technical partner, Mitsubishi Heavy Industries, as the maintenance provider of the MRT Line 3. The proposed maintenance deal would be pursued through a government-to-government official development assistance platform. The agreement is expected to be signed before the end of the year. The contract is expected to last for 3 years. The DOTR took over the maintenance of the MRT following the termination of the contract with Busan Universal Rail Incorporated or BURI last November 6. The MRT Corporation earlier said it has discussed with Sumitomo an action plan to rehabilitate the rail line. The rehabilitation plan will include a full inspection of the MRT-3, the purchase of $50 million worth of spare parts, replacement of broken rails, and the overhaul of all 73 cars of MRT. MRTC is willing to invest $150 million for the rehabilitation of the trains, which will be recovered through fare increases. Sumitomo is the Japanese maintenance contractor that designed, built, and maintained the MRT-3 system for 12 years. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
President Rodrigo Duterte stressed the need to amend the Constitution to stop the spread of corruption in the government. Stakeholders in an anti-corruption summit have submitted to the President recommendations of reforms to improve accountability in agencies. Here is our report.
President Rodrigo Duterte underscored the only way to solve corruption in the country is to amend the Constitution. The President discussed the gravity of corruption in government as he graced the Anti-Corruption Summit 2017 and the Second Philippine Construction Congress at the Philippine International Convention Center or PICC in Pasay City. Duterte, who served as prosecutor, vice mayor, congressman, and mayor, said there is always corruption in government. The President noted that the Constitution was crafted to allow accountability to escape most of the time. During the crafting of a new constitution, the President said he would give his inputs as well. The President meanwhile said the government should do away with awarding projects to the lowest bidder. He added that the Commission on Audit and the Office of the Ombudsman should be strengthened. During the Anti-Corruption Summit 2017, the stakeholders submitted to President Duterte a list of recommendations and a 10-point reform plan. Among these is that all line agencies under the President should implement reforms for the heads of government to be accountable, take command responsibility, and eliminate undue human intervention in all transactions. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Rom Dulfo.
The House of Representatives said there is no need for a special session to tackle the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law or BBL. House Majority Leader Rodolfo Fariñas said Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez has given his commitment to the President that the bill would be passed before the House adjourns on March 21 next year. Fariñas said that the House committees would be conducting public consultations in the involved areas and affected stakeholders. President Duterte laid out the plan to request Congress for the special session at the Bangsamoro Assembly in Sultan Kudarat, Maguindanao. The BBL is part of the process to implement the political track of the Comprehensive Agreement on the Bangsamoro signed between the government and the Moro Islamic Liberation Front in 2014. BBL's passage into law will signal the creation of the Parliamentary Bangsamoro government to be managed by the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. The Commission on Elections is unlikely to extend voter registration period for the May 14, 2018 Barangay and Sangguniang Kabataan elections. COMELEC spokesman James Jimenez said that there had been no discussions to move the deadline of the registration period, which is on Thursday, November 30. The official added that the poll body had already given the public enough time as the registration period started last November 6. They already conducted two previous voter registration periods, from July 15 to July 30, 2016, and from November 7, 2016 to April 29, 2017. Jimenez urged those who would like to participate in the May 2018 polls to make use of the two remaining days of the registration period. All local COMELEC offices are open from Mondays to Saturdays, including holidays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Off-site and satellite registration is also being conducted by the poll body in different parts of the country. The National Bureau of Investigation is set to probe the alleged involvement of three of its agents in the kidnapping of a South Korean national. The Philippine National Police announced the rescue of Korean restaurant owner Lee Jung-dae, who was kidnapped from his home in Balibago, Angeles City in Pampanga last November 24. NBI Director Dante Gueran said he formed a team that would investigate and verify statements of the PNP where the NBI agents were implicated in the incident. Gueran said all NBI agents assigned in Pampanga are all accounted for. There was also no operation conducted or participated in by any personnel in Angeles, particularly involving a Korean citizen on the day of the kidnapping. Gueran also said the NBI is studying the filing of charges against the PNP for issuing statements to the media that may destroy its credibility. The PNP previously implicated three NBI officials in the kidnapping and killing of Korean national Ji Ik-ju right beside Camp Crame. The National Privacy Commission, or NPC, warned that ride-sharing firm Uber may face sanctions for concealing a massive data breach that exposed personal information of Filipinos. Uber revealed that 57 million users worldwide, including Filipinos, were affected by the data breach dating back to October 2016. Privacy Commissioner Raymond Liboro warned that Uber may face serious criminal and civil liabilities under the Data Privacy Act of 2012. Uber's compromised data included the names of about 600,000 drivers in the United States and the personal info of 57 million Uber users around the world. Uber assured that the incident did not breach its corporate systems and that sensitive data such as credit card and bank account numbers were not downloaded. Uber has implemented security measures to restrict access and strengthen controls on their storage accounts. The NPC assures that it will continue its investigation and will cooperate with the data privacy authorities of Australia and the United States. Still to come, Filipino and U.S. troops complete the 12-day Salaknib joint military exercises. The Senate passes a tax reform package adjusting taxes on sweetened drinks and other taxable resources. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues. President Rodrigo Duterte personally led the send-off in Sual, Pangasinan of 5 Vietnamese fishermen arrested for poaching off Philippine waters 2 months ago. The fishermen were spotted by the Philippine Navy while they were fishing about 34 nautical miles off Cape Bolinao on September 22. They were apprehended after a chase the following day. 2 of the crew members were killed when the Philippine Navy fired alleged warning shots. The Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources found that the respondents committed poaching. The BFAR decided that the administrative fine will not be imposed due to the indigence of the respondents and the death of their crewmates. In a bilateral talk between the Philippines and Vietnam during the APEC summit, President Duterte agreed to send home the 5 fishermen as soon as possible. This is the second time the president sent off fishermen from the same country. On November 2, 2016, President Duterte also sent home 17 Vietnamese fishermen in the same venue who were found to have committed poaching in Philippine waters near Ilocos Norte. Soldiers from the Philippines and the United States took part in the 12-day Salaknib military exercises, which started November 16 and ended on Monday. Exercises took place in Camp O'Donnell in Capas, Tarlac, Fort Magsaysay in Palayan City, Nueva Ecija, and Fort Bonifacio, Taguig City. Drills included artillery tactics and responses, gunnery procedures, maintenance for the M113 armored personnel carrier, and the study and validation for the PA Sustainment Functional Concept document. Philippine Army spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Ray Chongson said, Salaknib is an Ilocano term for protector. Chongson said the exercises will help in the planning of future military drills between the two countries. These also highlight the strong military ties between the Philippines and the United States. The Bureau of Immigration has reshuffled shift and terminal assignments of over 400 personnel at the terminals of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Immigration Commissioner Jaime Morente noted that the movement is part of the agency's continuing program to prevent corruption and improve its service to the traveling public. The BI chief said the scheme also aims to raise employees' productivity as they will be working in a new environment and with new co-workers. BI Port Operations Division Chief Mark Red Marinas said this is the second time that immigration officers at the NIA have been moved. The first one was in June this year. He noted that about 20% of the immigration officers rotated will have new shift assignments and working hours. The previous rotation only involved the personnel's terminal assignments. The reshuffle was implemented ahead of the Christmas holiday break. Marinas advised the traveling public to come to airports early to avoid long lines in immigration. The Senate passed on final reading its version of the tax reform package pushed by President Duterte. The tax reforms include reductions on income tax and adjustments on taxes for sweet drinks and vehicles. Here is our report.
The Senate passed on third and final reading its version of the tax reform package. With 17 affirmative votes and only 1 negative vote, the Senate approved what is also known as the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion or TRAIN bill. Senator Rizzo Ontiveros, the only senator who voted against the passage of the TRAIN, said the TRAIN bill fell short of its promise to reform the tax system and be beneficial to the poor. Meanwhile, among the features of the Senate's TRAIN bill is the reduced income tax rates for individual income taxpayers starting January 1, 2018, and an excise tax for beverages using sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup. The measure also adjusted excise tax rates for diesel and bunker fuel oil in 3 tiers and implemented a 2-tier tax scheme for automobiles. Other measures include tax on aesthetic cosmetic procedures and body enhancements, increasing coal excise tax from 10 pesos per metric ton to 300 pesos in the 3rd and succeeding years. The rates of mined resources were doubled from current 2% excise tax to 4%. The TRAIN is set to be implemented by January 2018. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Chris Crismundo.
The New People's Army is earning up to 1 billion pesos from money extorted from agricultural and mining operations in the operational area of the Eastern Mindanao Command. East Mincom Commander Lieutenant General Benjamin Madrigal said the money collected as revolutionary taxes is from agri-industrial firms such as banana plantations, mining operators, transport sector, business firms, and other individuals. The money is then used by the rebels to buy weapons. Madrigal said the military continues to discourage the business and industry sectors from giving in to the NPA's extortion demands. He said among the measures that can be taken by these sectors are investing on security of equipment and active cooperation with law enforcement authorities. President Rodrigo Duterte earlier said the rebels are victimizing farmers in the rural areas, causing prices of goods to go up. Banana growers have called on the government to put an end to the extortion activities of the NPA. More than 8 delegates reportedly fell ill during the ongoing 6th ASEAN Scout Jamboree at the Energy Park, Tagum City in Davao del Norte. The delegates were temporarily admitted for medication after experiencing headache, cough, colds, and abdominal pains. They were immediately discharged after medication. Tagum Health Officer Arnel Florendo debunked speculations the abdominal pains were caused by water or food. He added that the scouts who fell ill are isolated cases and were not alarming. Florendo said there were 8 cases of fracture and sprain due to the activities at the camp. One was also admitted for chickenpox. Another patient, an adult Indonesian, was admitted for pneumonia and diabetes. The 6th ASEAN Scout Jamboree opened Monday with close to 30,000 scouts from 20 countries participating. The ASEAN Jamboree carries the theme Growth and Stability. Up next, over 200 teams gather in Baguio City for the 68th Phil-Am Golf Tournament. Quezon Province is hailed as Calabarzon's tourist destination of the year. These and more when the PNA Newsroom returns.
Then as now, corruption pa rin. And every administration, I would say, including mine, corruption is ever present. And the only way to do it is actually, we have to change or amend our constitution. We have to correct the injustice committed against the people of Mindanao. The previous subjugation, slavery, and destructions and massacres that occurred along the way in the life of the Filipino. The law says that in a conspiracy, like an organized crime, the act of one is the act of all, and the liability of one is the same for all.
The Food and Drug Administration in Mindanao has warned the public against online purchase of medicines and other health products. Annette Tan, FDA Mindanao West Cluster Head, said that medicines and other medical products sold online and by peddlers may be counterfeit and can be harmful. She said at least 90% of the products such as drugs, cosmetics, and food supplements that are being sold online are not registered with the FDA. Tan advised the public to buy medicines only in pharmacies since they are being registered and regularly monitored by the FDA. She also urged the public to immediately report to authorities if they have any information on individuals involved in the counterfeiting of drugs. The longest-running international golf competition in the world is kicking off on December 1 in Baguio City with over 200 teams vying for the championship. Here is our report.
A total of 240 teams have signed up for the 68th Phil-Am Golf Tournament that will run from December 1 to 16 at Camp John Hay and Baguio Country Club. The Phil-Am Golf Tournament is a 2-week annual tournament held at the Jack Nicklaus designed course of Baguio Country Club and Camp John Hay. It started in 1949 and has since become extremely popular with a Filipino and American elite. It is considered the longest-running and biggest amateur golf tournament in the world. Anthony De Leon, tournament co-chairman from BCC, said the organizers are continuously innovating the annual event to make it more exciting and enjoyable to the players who come from as far as the United States, Europe, and other continents in the world. Aside from different activities for the golfers, the organizers also come up with events for the families of the competitors to make their stay worthwhile and varied year after year. Tim Allen, tournament co-chairman from CJH, noted that the fact that the event is being held in Baguio greatly contributes to its success because the city is a favored destination even by people coming from abroad. Bayani Malikdem, representative of the Department of Tourism, said the Phil-Am Golf Tournament is part of the sports tourism program of the agency. He said great numbers from here and abroad will participate, which will in turn attract more tourists. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondok.
Davao City and Iloilo City were honored in the culmination of the celebration of the National Clean Air Month on Wednesday. Clean Air Philippines Movement Incorporated, or CAPMI, recognized Davao City as a clean air city, while Iloilo City Mayor Jose Espinosa III was hailed Clean Air Champion. They received their awards at the Clean Air Summit at the Iloilo Convention Center hosted by CAPMI. DENR Secretary Roy Simatu and Health Undersecretary Gerardo Bayugo were the guests of honor. Iloilo City also played host to an evening of music dubbed Jazz Clean Air. CAPMI Chairman Dr. Michael Aragon said they would celebrate the event by singing to raise awareness on the deadly effects of air pollution. November was declared National Clean Air Month based on Presidential Proclamation 1109. The month-long celebration kicked off in Davao City on November 6. Quezon Province was conferred the Department of Tourism Calabarzon Region's Tourist Destination of the Year Award during Monday's Calabarzon Tourism Summit 2017 in Alabang, Muntinlupa City. The DOT Calabarzon award-giving body cited Quezon Province for achieving the 6.3 million same-day tourist arrivals during the Niyog-Yugan Festival it staged last August 2016. The annual Niyog-Yugan Festival showcases colorful and vibrant activities in the province while promoting products that represent their culture. Quezon Governor David Suarez thanked the DOT for the award that is already a part of the province's history. He said the newly identified destination places in the province will help improve the economy and the quality of life of his constituents. He remarked that tourism is not just drawing in more tourists, but also about protecting the environment and uplifting history and culture. He also commended other awardees for their dedication and commitment as public servants and their intensified tourism efforts and initiatives. Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's headlines. The Department of Transportation eyes the return of Sumitomo Corporation as the maintenance provider of the MRT-3. The House of Representatives commits to pass the Bangsamoro Basic Law by March 21. Filipino and U.S. troops complete the 12-day Salaknib joint military exercises. And over 200 teams gather in Baguio City for the 68th Phil-Am Golf Tournament. The holidays are coming soon. It's 26 days before Christmas. For more stories, please log on to www.pna.gov.ph or visit the PNA page on Facebook and Twitter. And that's your daily dose of the hottest news and the latest information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm William Theo. Good day.